Hey, this is Carl and welcome to another monthly episode of Statues I Wish I Could Afford. In this video, I'll be showing you guys a summary of all the cool stuff featured this month in the weekly World of Custom Statues, as well as statues that I did pre-order or paid for follow-up payments. So let's start the list. So for the first interesting statues this month is we have Museum Type Apocalypse, probably the best comic accurate Apocalypse in quarter scale for both custom and license. Very nice and detailed base which tells the story of Apocalypse. If you've seen the Museum Type Thanos by the same studio, they are very similar in terms of concept, especially the base. You also get to choose between the comic colors or the animated inspired colors. Of course, Apocalypse comes with switch out arms to flex his powers and some portraits with different expressions. Next is the full reveal for a Dr. Doom on Throne statue, probably one of the nicest Doom on Throne statue that came out recently. Comes with a God version or a white Dr. Doom version. Comes with lots and lots of switch out, even unique special switch out that the studio came up with. Overall, very nice sculpt in my opinion, would sit really well next to the Sideshow Thanos on Throne. Next is we have some museum type Deadpool. This comes with a lot of switch out, even a Wolverine portrait. Some funny cool switch out like the pens, the MCU inspired claws, and of course guns and lots of guns. This Deadpool is definitely ready for war. Overall, very clean sculpt in my opinion. I think this would be a nice replacement to the Sideshow's OG quarter scale Deadpool, much updated with lots of textures and details, and of course the switch outs. Next is we have a Hulk and his usual variants, which is the gray and the red Hulk version. I like the Ultron parts, which would fit nicely with Avengers collectors who have Ultron line like me, but I kinda wish the base wasn't rocky and instead made out of a metal platform or sorts. But anyway, sculpt looks pretty good in my opinion. Very fair enough size for a Hulk. Doesn't come with any switch out, so this would most likely won't have any visible sims. Next is we have the updated prototype reveal for this lady Loki. Gotta say, this one is definitely an improvement from the previous prototype reveal. The skin tone looks lifelike and much more accurate to Loki's skin tone in the movie. The MCU portrait also looks really good in my opinion. Definitely looks like Sylvie from the show. I wish they could have highlighted the light up features on the base if there's any. But overall, definitely a good paint job. Next is we have the prototype reveal for this Madelyne Pryor on Throne. The prototype is definitely way better than the renders. You could see more of its intricate details and of course it's much more vibrant looking than the renders. This statue has lots of small details because of the bones covering the base, the throne. A very cool representation of the Goblin Queen. Though this is a throne statue, it doesn't take much space in my opinion. Almost feels like it's still a museum type statue. Next is we have a Hulk, well it's actually Maestro. This is just the renders and highly inspired from the comic cover of Maestro. Though this is not a total copy-paste of the comic cover, which a different studio has already done that, but I can see this one being inspired from the cover. Maestro looks so ferocious as always, lots of trophies of dead Marvel characters on the base. We see usual weapons, armory of the fallen characters. So if you're not into the XM Maestro on Throne, this might be for you. Next is we have the prototype reveal for a life-size bust statue of Spiderman and of course a symbiote version or a transformation version. Very detailed sculpt since it's a full-size life-size statue and they highlighted the details pretty well by the paint. Very cool Easter egg at the back of the statue as well. So the very first DC character in this list, and we have the prototype reveal for a black Supergirl. Actually, the OG Blu-ray is already shipping as we speak. This is the nicest Supergirl you'll ever see, lots of details and textures, and the portrait looks amazing, as this is done by my favorite female statue sculptor. Definitely well done, this is the Supergirl statue to own. Next is we have a Caleb Nefzen sculpt, and we have this Venom coming out of a container. Caleb actually previously did a Weapon X inside the container, so this is a similar concept but with Venom. Venom is also transforming here, so you still get to see Eddie Brock. Very unique concept for sure, and going to be a massive statue. This container is gonna be really big in my opinion, and this statue also does come with some portrait switch out still. After the much success of its Venomized Wolverine, we have the prototype reveal of her daughter, the Venomized X23. It has its own similarities with the Wolverine, of course. You can see them on the portrait, on the base. Anyway, it's sculpted by the same guy, so the sculpt is consistent. The paint looks pretty good as well. The concept is very similar actually. So they definitely belong to each other, much more like a companion piece now. So we have another Caleb Nefzen sculpt, and we have the prototype reveal for this Wolverine versus Sentinel. This is part of a line where X-Men characters fight their favorite villain, which is Sentinels. We already have a Magneto, Colossus, and others on this line, but for now we have Wolverine in his usual blue-yellow costume, and of course the brown one. There is no black or X-Force version at this time, though the brown version can easily be converted to X-Force or black colors. Very nice paint job, gotta say. The prototype definitely is a lot better than the renders. Very unique pose as well for Wolverine, and the color really pops. So next is some updates for some projects. First is this Black Widow just got printed already. Second is we have some work in progress on the prototype of Harley Quinn. Third is we have a teaser of the prototype of this Iron Spider-Man versus Venom. And next is we have the print of this Miles Morales statue. And finally, we have a teaser for a Savage Dragon. So we got two teasers this past 2 months, and the first one is we have the old man Logan riding a horse, and lastly is we have an Elektra Daredevil coming. So here are statues that I did pre-order or paid for follow-up payments this month. First is this retro type Spider-Man is coming. I already paid for the final payment and shipping for this. This is my first retro Spider-Man. I'm quite excited to add this in my collection since I don't have a retro Spidey yet. Anyway, next is I found a pretty good deal on a Prime 1 Superman Earth 52 statue, but it's just the regular version. The exclusive would have been a lot better, especially the Red Eyes portrait. Anyway, moving on, finally is I have bought a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan from Wolf Studio, and that's also coming. Let me know in the comments below on what you guys think of the pieces mentioned in the video. For more fan art and custom statue updates, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. I upload updates every Sunday, 1 PM Pacific Standard Time. Check this video out right here. I know you'll enjoy it as much as this one. This is Carl, and see you in the next one.